Welcome to our podcast called The Found. We are youth from Church of the Family here in Concord, California. We decided to start this podcast for other youth just like us that maybe want to learn more about things in the Bible or want to be able to hear from the perspective of youth that go to church or have a relationship with Christ. Maybe you want to learn more about Jesus. Maybe you go to church and you want to find a Christian podcast. This will be the podcast for you. And we decided to name it The Found because of the parable in Matthew 18:10, where Jesus talks about the shepherd leaving his 99 sheep to go find the one lost sheep. So on this podcast, we will have those lost sheep that Jesus had found or has found. And we'll start with me. I'll be the first sheep. My name is Josue, and I am a leader here at Church of the Family. Well, I'm a youth leader here at Church of the Family, and I'm part of the social media team. And we're going to present our guests that we have on today. We're going to start off with our brother, David.
I'm David Arce. I've been at this church for most of my life. I serve as a youth leader and a pianist on the worship team.
My name is Christy, and I'm the pastor's artist. I've been here all my life, and I am a youth leader and many more.
My name is Alejandra, and I've been at the church for about 6 years.
Hello, my name is Kayla. I've been at this church almost a year, and my ministry is the worship.
This is our first episode, so you guys have to bear with us because we're trying to get the hang of it, and we're all a little awkward right now, but maybe we'll get the conversation going and it'll flow better, right? Maybe? Yes?
Well, you make it awkward, bro.
Speaking to the mic. What are everybody's opinions about the podcast?
My opinion about the podcast is good because I feel like we could share our thoughts and our individual response for each question or doubt that we have.
Does anybody think the podcast is bad?
No, because why would we be here?
I'm saying, could the podcast go bad?
Could it go bad?
It could go bad.
Why would it go bad?
It
No, 'cause
could.
we need to filter what we say.
Well, it
and
could go
things.
bad, if we're laughing too much,
Well, no, I'm gonna watch it oh yeah, hi.
All right, what are your guys' expectations for the podcast?
I expect for more youth to join us, whether it be from Instagram or YouTube or TikTok. I just expect people being able to come to church through this platform.
I expect us to make a big impact because I feel like most people think certain things and don't speak it out loud, but maybe we could be the voice for them.
I like that.
Okay.
An expectation that I have is for us to be comfortable with newcomers and the youth that we already have as well.
For me, I would say that the podcast, I wouldn't say expectation, more like a goal. It would be just to reach more people that maybe tell themselves that they have some type of church hurt and they can't really join something, or they're too scared to join something, but they find a relationship or a connection through a podcast or something that can reach them through social media or something.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about Nacer de Nuevo or Born Again. A lot of members from the church give lessons, and we're going to be talking a little bit about those topics that they brought up. So I just want to ask everybody, what were your guys' opinions on the event?
I think it went good. However, I feel like this type of event, it's just for people that are coming in and believing in faith because, however, we still have open wounds, but people from outside that are really coming into Christianity or to have a relationship with God, they're more sensitive onto what problems they have out there because they don't have a firm foundation and something to believe in.
I think it went well. I was literally raised off these retreats, so I feel like I'm so used to it. But I feel like every year it's something new that you can gain from it or that you can learn from it, like the testimonies that were shared. I feel like those are very impactful because, if I were to look at any one of these, I wouldn't know any one of these people. I wouldn't know their testimony. But once you hear it, it's a different perspective. Oh wow, God healed you from that. It's you'll learn something new from each year's retreat.
I would say along those lines with Crystal, I think since it is more for, I guess, new believers or visitors that come into these retreats, being born again, I don't think the lessons ever really are irrelevant to someone's life. The lessons that were given are had that the word that everyone can listen to, throughout the week or a time that they're struggling with, certain, like for example, bondages or addictions that were spoken about in the retreat. Some people can be dealing with those type of things throughout, their journey with God, even after being baptized or, being, born again, maybe. It's something that can occur at any time and you can struggle with. So, yeah, useful word.
For me, this was my first time going to Nacer de Nuevo or Born Again. It was really impactful. I learned a lot of information, and it also helped me too in a way to heal from things that I didn't even realize that I was carrying or that my spirit was carrying as well. So it was really impactful for me.
The first topic is fear. Our first question is, what is everybody's biggest fear right now?
Oh,
Not everybody at once, because
Yeah.
the mic
Can we
won't
think
pick it
about
up.
I think I got something to say. For me, honestly, it would be the fear of just not doing enough for, I guess, in the ministries that I serve and, having the privilege of, being able to serve in the kingdom of God. It's a fear and a worry that I'm not doing enough or as much as I could be doing. But yeah, that would be, for me, yeah, it would be the fear of not doing enough. Maybe putting my own emotions or desires on top of the plans that God has for me.
My biggest fear is similar to David's, but mine is overall, like, I'm just, like, my fear is not doing anything in life, like, not overcoming my goals, or, like, not being anybody on my own, like, either at church or, like, outside, like, or not, like, being able to accomplish everything that I have desired my whole life.
Like not fulfilling your purpose.
Yeah.
okay. This is my top fear. This is probably gonna be my all-time biggest fear. My fear of being left behind. Lord, I don't want to be left behind in this treacherous place. But yeah, that's my number one fear.
Okay, my biggest fear is not fulfilling the role that God has given to me, or not to say, like, not giving enough of what is asked of me. Yeah, I feel that's my biggest fear.
My biggest fear is, I'll probably go with being left behind too. I'm sure everybody here wants to go to heaven.
Yes.
But then I also feel like, with that fear, I actually wouldn't say that's my biggest fear though, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say something.
Because I don't think I could get left behind.
Right, because we're doing everything on, like...
Because it's
Right,
not about,
order.
but it's not really about, like, us doing everything good. It's like he already did it. Therefore, we're already saved through his blood.
We could lose it, though.
Yeah, we could lose it though.
Well, yeah, but
Anyways, what's your biggest fear?
I don't know. I guess I don't have any fears. I'd live without fear then.
No.
Oh, okay, let's put him in a whole tank of snakes.
Well,
Next episode.
okay, but that would be super basic though. If I just say, oh yeah, put me in a bin full of snakes.
Because you're saying you don't have fears.
Well, I really don't. Like any big fear like that, I don't think I have a big fear like that.
I feel
Oh,
like all
actually-
fears are big because...
Ooh, I do have a fear.
All fears are big.
My biggest fear would be having kids and my kids dying before me.
You know what? I told my parents all the time that I want to die before them because they lived without me before.
Because they already lived.
Yeah, because you imagine, like, I never lived without them. They're all I know, like, my whole life. But they lived without me. So, like, they could go back to living the same, even though it's going to be more painful, but it's going to be more painful for us, I feel like.
But now that they have you and they've lived with you,
Right,
they're
but
not
I
gonna
had
be
them
able
for
to
the
live
whole
with
life,
you.
though.
So you're tired of them. You just want to Let me go.
What? I'm saying
Is that what you're
me,
saying?
I want to die first because I haven't lived without them.
She can't imagine living without them.
Oh, you can't imagine live without
God.
them. All right. Based off your guys' answer, like a lot of the answers was like not fulfilling your purpose, right? And the second question was kind of like towards that way. It's because there's a lot of youth, I feel like, in our generation that are, I feel like when you're young, your biggest fear is like failing and not becoming somebody in life, or not becoming somebody at all. Like basically just failing what you were meant to do, like what God had planned for you. Like striving off the path and then not fulfilling the path that he had planned out for you. So, what would be the best advice to yourself and to the people watching to get over that fear?
The advice I would give people and myself, I feel like, is just know who you believe in and like have like a firm foundation and know who you trust in, like, which is obviously God. Like, put all your faith into it, and either ways, if it doesn't happen how you want it like to happen, it's not your plan. Like, it's always gonna be God's will either ways. Like, you could plan something, let's say for today or tonight, like, but God already knows what he wants you to do, like, in the future, what you planned for. So
I would say for me, my answer would be just look at your life, how you're living. Really, if you're really worried about, getting away from the path that God has for you, what is it that is in your life that is distracting you or taking you away, like certain habits, certain friends, and just really look at your life. How are you living? Are you living a life devoted to God? Are you living a life that is connected to God, to His Spirit? Do you pray? Do you fast? Do you read your Word? And if you have this checklist, and if none of them are checked, and then you don't read, you don't pray, you don't fast, you don't spend time with God, you don't worship God, why would you not be scared of getting out of God's path? You're not connected to Him at all, So yeah, once you're connected with God and you have that relationship, He will reveal to you when you're getting off. If you're on, He will give you more opportunities to act on that ministry that you're in. He will bless you in your ministry. The growth will be there. It will show. When you know that you're getting out, it's when you start to look for other things in your life. The things that you used to do for God no longer satisfies you. You no longer really, like for me, for example, on the worship team, playing the piano for church, for God, I love doing that. But if I know that I'm not connected to God anymore, I'm distant from God, I'm not going to enjoy that anymore. I'm not playing for anything anymore. It's just me just tickling some keys. So it's just, so you'll notice, you'll see it in your life when you're getting out of that way. So, yeah, just look at your life. How are you living? What habits do you have that are glorifying God, not glorifying God, and just have that discipline, that responsibility to take those things out of your life.
Anybody else?
Okay. I feel like Anna said it perfectly because God wouldn't give us anything that we couldn't handle. Like, for example, myself, I'm a leader. He wouldn't call me to be a leader if he knew that I couldn't handle it because he already has our whole life planned. And why would he call me to be a leader if he knew that I would give up like a month into it? So that's why I feel like that's what always pushes me to ignore the fear that I have of not fulfilling it, because God has given me that desire and the passion to keep on going and to put my best effort into it. So I feel like that's the main thing that helps me, or that could help other people, is just understand that he already has our life planned, and he wouldn't just put things into our lives if he knew that we would not be able to take care of what he has given us.
but you know what you said about like the ministry is a lot of like there's controversy in it, just because there's certain people that don't know how to distinguish that it's their calling or that they're called to do that, right? Because let's say like me, like if I know God has, like, let's say I'm confused if God called me to be a pastor or not, but I still decide to take over the role. Obviously, I'm not meant to do that. So I can't bear what pastors handle, you know what I mean? However, there are some people that are, well, like me personally, like I'm stubborn, right? But if I know I can't do a certain thing, I'll try to overcome it. But there is just a limit that you know that you can't handle. And that goes more into deeper, like on your personal, like not even like God's decision on what you think it's his decision, but it's you not noticing that you're doing everything that you want to do. You know what I mean? So
I want to add to that because I saw this preaching where this pastor was saying about how Jonah decided to choose his own path and go away from the path of God. But so the people in Nineveh, right? That's how you say it? Mm-hmm. The pastor was saying that the people in Nineveh, they had a bunch of gods, but one of their main gods was a god of the sea. So like a fish god almost. Mm-hmm. So they're like, Jonah decided to go away from the path of God and he made his mistake. But the Bible also tells us that like God, what the devil intends for evil, God will use it for good. So the pastor was saying that when Jonah decided to go the other way, and then God had to bring him back, right? So he had get swallowed, which the Bible says a big fish. So the pastor was explaining that when Jonah made the mistake and then showed up and this big fish just like spat him out onto their land, it's like for them that was an even bigger sign that whatever God sent this guy is more powerful than any other gods that they have, because how is he getting sent through a fish? And like, so their biggest god was a fish. So them seeing that, they were like, okay, we got to listen to whatever this guy has to say. So it's like, it's just to go with kind of also with that, like, even if you do choose not to go, say you take on a role that is not yours, I feel like God will still correct it in a way or use it to where either way at the end of the day, it'll all work for God's good.
And I also feel like that falls into like your discernment and your relationship with God, because like you said, like being called to a pastoral role, like if I just take it and it all goes bad, or like I can't take it. Okay, if I have a good relationship with God and I'm thinking, ooh, like the pastoral role, and I just take it, that's not God telling me to take it. That's not God putting that calling on my life. That's my own words and that's my own thoughts, and that could even be like the enemy's thoughts being like, oh, like just take it because he knows that like maybe I have a bigger calling or I have a different calling for my life. And I feel like that just falls into your relationship with God, because if you really had a relationship with God, you would put that into God's hands and you would fast, you would pray over it, and at the end of the day, or at the end of those times that you have that fasting or that prayer time, you would be able to know because God has revealed it to you if that is your calling or not. So I feel like everything depends on your relationship with God and how your discernment is working and how sensitive you are to His Spirit.
we went so out of time.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
So I was supposed to answer the question. What I feel like if somebody is feel like they're backsliding from God, the best thing I feel like personally they should do is just consistently be obedient no matter what. If you know, like you'll feel a change. You'll feel like, oh, like I haven't prayed to Him today, or oh, I haven't heard from Him today. Your spirit will crave a prayer to the Lord in a way. Or some people, it might be different. You might think about Him or you might feel guilty. But the best thing would be to just do it. Just, bow on your knees and get to prayer, because that's the best way. And then also to, like how David said, fasting and just things like that. Because realistically, nobody wants to be away from the Lord. And then if you think how your life was before Him, you're going to be like, oh, like I don't want that again. So
I also think like the biggest thing too would be with any fear that you have, let the fear of God be the biggest thing so it'll overcome any other fear that you have. All right, so our second topic is bondage. Can I have somebody define what bondage is?
Something that I heard in the retreat this past weekend was that a bondage can be something that's holding you back from worshiping or serving God. And it can be an idol, a thing, or a person.
Did you mean bondage as in the word bondage, or an example of bondage?
Like an example of bondage for a Christian.
For a Christian boy.
For a Christian.
You're not no boy.
Bondage, I would say, honestly, again, I would bring up friends. Friends are really used by the world and by the enemy to distract you, to take you away, especially those who are of this world.
I think another example of bondage is like unforgiveness. I think somebody who carries unforgiveness is attached to.
Were you?
Well, attached to like whoever they haven't forgiven, or.
I feel like people don't talk about this a lot, but I feel like you could create your own personal bondage.
Oh wait, how do you create your own bondage?
Cause I feel like, let's say, you, I don't know, you like open up to like new things. Like I feel like like you have personal like generational ties.
Are you talking about when you open doors?
Yeah, but I feel like it goes more further than just like friends or like out there, because I feel like you could create a lot in your mind.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, like doing personal things to go out of your way to make like your, I don't know, like how to describe it, like, you know, the people that, I don't know, it's just like the people that join cults or like do certain things that it's just like they open doors and open bondages, not only for them but like for their future generations.
Like the people that play the Ouija game?
Yeah. Like yeah, like that's what I mean. Like I think, or either like you get delivered from something and then
you go back
into it. And it's like at that point it's just like, did you want to be delivered from it in the first place?
What about you? Examples of bondage.
I don't know. I would say honestly the same thing that you said is like unforgiveness, or like from friends or from your family. Like if you haven't forgiven them for the things that they have done, I would just say it really just holds you back.
All right. Our first question is, can bondage make you feel like you are not deserving of the love of God?
I would say yes.
How so?
Because again, it holds you back. And then once it starts to hold you back more, you feel guilty, and then you're like, okay, well, I can just ignore this, or I can put it over here and I'll come back to it later. But in reality, it's not going away. It's just getting put here instead of figuring it out with the Lord.
Like attached to you?
Yeah, instead of figuring out with the Lord and going to Him for help, it's just lingering there and manifesting.
I agree with that, but I just feel like certain type of bondages you don't know that you have. So it's just like you think this is who you are. You think this is all you could get, but there's more to it. Like, I think it's all on us too. Like, it's just how we put it out there, because there could be certain like known bondages that people just hold to because that's how they feel comfortable. Like, that's all they've known. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, I feel like it
would you
has
say
a
that
lot.
that kind of would have to do with like family traditions and stuff like that?
Yeah, that could be a thing because, well, yeah.
Because like, say I don't know, your family's like you come from a family that's like full of witches that does witchcrafts.
Well, that's a heavy bondage, yeah. But
So that, but like what I'm trying to say is like, okay, so if you come from a family full of witches, then
like you'll do it.
you don't feel, yeah, but you don't feel like you deserve God's love because that's who your family is.
That's a different perspective that I wasn't thinking about. I had to come back.
What do you guys think about that? Like somebody, say there's somebody out there that comes from like a family of witches or like a family of warlocks, whatever it is, that practice like different things, right? Is it like, do you think that they could feel that they don't deserve God's love because their family's already done that and they just feel attached to that and they feel like they can't get near God because of that?
I mean, are they also acting in on these Or is it just the family?
Well, let's say they're a participant because of their family, because they grew up on it. It's all they've known, like kind of like how Alice said.
Well, I mean, I think you can look at this in not just witchcraft or, those warlocks, but just any other religion that, you convert from. I think once you realize and once you actually look into the love of God, the character of God, there were many examples in the Word that many people were, I would say, yeah. I can't say worthy because like worthy isn't really applicable, but there are many examples that people have done many things. For example, even Israel itself corrupted, worshiping other gods for so long. They were idolizing things. Just having a bunch of messed up things, but the plan of God was always to send His Son and to die on the cross, and our job is just to accept it. Nothing really can limit His love unless we do. We limit His love, and if we don't want to receive it, we won't. But just like the prodigal son, you just come back. Come back to your Father, and He will accept you.
Our next topic is healing wounds. So, before coming to Christ, what was a wound that had to be healed? Okay, I'll start. So, for me, I grew up in a Christian church. And then later on through my life, I got away and I started doing things that I shouldn't have. But the wounds that had to be healed were like just growing up and feeling like a relationship with God was just forced. So for me, my parents were like, oh, you have to be in church. If we're in church, you have to be singing, clapping, like paying attention. And it just like, that relationship part was not there. It was just like super forced. So for me coming back, the thing that had to be, like the wound that had to be healed was the relationship part. Because the first time when I was going to church, it didn't feel like a relationship. It felt like a religion. Like, oh, you have to do this because you have to do this. Now it's different because God has shown me that it's not about me just, because I could be over there like clapping and singing and just have the most disgust for Him, and He'll see that as like, you shouldn't even be doing this. I'd rather you not even doing it. So now it's like, I could literally be in there and just not clap, not sing or whatever, but just I'm like acknowledging Him, and like my relationship with Him is deep. So He'll take that over me just being there, clapping my hands and not really even having a connection with Him in a relationship. But that was like, for me, that was a wound that had to be healed. Like just being able to have a relationship with Jesus.
I would say, no, someone else. No, someone else say something. It's 'cause I've been talking too much.
Okay, I'll go. For me, I would say a wound that needed to be healed before coming to church was forgiveness. Before I even met the Lord, before anything, I had to forgive in order to, because there's a saying, it says, in order for you to be able to heal somebody, like through Jesus, obviously, you have to be healed yourself. You have to know what it's like in order for somebody else to receive the same thing. For me, I had to give everything to the Lord, and I had to forgive everybody. Even if I didn't want it to, I was ready to, in order for me to be able to have that relationship with the Lord in a way that is going to connect us better. So that's what I would say.
I've shared it before, like in intercession, about like part of my testimony, I guess. Something that I did have to since I grew up in the church, obviously I didn't have that before Christ because I always knew Him. Well, I knew of Him, but I didn't really know Him. So something that I had struggled with a lot growing up was like the same thing, having that genuine relationship with him. I feel like that I pushed him away a lot just because it was always a routine, like coming to church early on Sundays, coming on Mondays, would come on Mondays and Wednesdays. So it was always a routine for me. And then the retreats, it was just, for me, it was so tiring, but I was so young. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm here because my parents, but when I'm 18, like I'm going to leave, like I'm not going to do this anymore. Until I had that encounter with God. And then that's when he was like, you know, this is who I am. Like I'm not just the God of your parents, but now I'm your God. And I feel like it took a lot for me to be able to accept that. Just growing, like I'm 19 now, so it took so many years for me to realize what I was actually doing, and now that I'm serving, I'm doing it out of a genuine heart. I would never served before until I started until I had that encounter with God. That's when I started joining my ministries, and that's when I became who I am now. So that was one of the wounds that I had to heal, or that he had to heal for me, was just the ungenuineness. I would say that's how you say it. And the desire that I needed to have, because I didn't know who he was. And since I didn't know who he was, I was just living life like, okay, like it's just Sunday, like another Sunday. I was just getting into the routine, and that's not how relationship with God is. Like it's not supposed to be a routine. It's supposed to be different every time. Like he encounters us differently each time. Like everyone gets an encounter by him differently. Like I could feel like hot, and I could feel fire. Like someone else can feel like, what is it, rain, or like people feel it, like there's so many ways that they say in the Bible. So I feel like I just needed to have that encounter in order for that wound to be healed.
Can you be a Christian and still have wounds that aren't fully healed?
Can you? Can you? Yes, but that's only because you don't really believe that it's finished. You like that? No.
I like that.
You know, you could still carry those wounds and all those things, but that's only because you haven't fully surrendered. I mean, you know, when you fully surrender, you become a new creature, and you know, through Christ. And if you don't really believe that, you haven't really surrendered. You know, that's why you still have those wounds. That's why you still struggle with those things, because you have not become a new creature. I'm not saying that you're not going to struggle after, but you know, it's not promised that it's going to be easy. You know, following God. But it's those wounds that do hold you back, you know, these bondages that hold you back. It's because you have not submitted to God and you haven't surrendered to God.
I think a lot of that too is like, I think somebody that's a Christian and still carries those, or also it's like, you got to remember that the devil's constantly lying to you. Like, you're still attached to this. Oh, remember this person hurt you. And it's like a lot of those wounds that you're carrying are not even, I would say they're not really even wounds. They're more lies from the devil that he just keeps putting there.
Wait, can I just add to that real quick? I feel like if you come to the Lord and you ask him to heal those and you surrender to him, I believe that he heals it completely. But I think that like after a while, like how the devil, you said, he kind of spreads those lies again. It makes you think all over again, like reopening it in a way that, oh, this happened, but I forgave, I did this, I did that. But in a way, you're like, but they hurt me so bad, or they did this. I think it's fully healed, but I think sometimes we reopen it in a way, and reopen that door that really we shouldn't. And then we just have to like give it back to the Lord again in a way.
For me, I kind of disagree on that, because it's like going back to what David said. Jesus said on the cross, it is finished. So if he has already fully healed you and he said it is finished, that means he's fully healed you. It's finished.
I actually disagree with you on that. And I agree with Kayla because, yes, it could be finished. However, you have the power to reopen those wounds. Because let's say I apologize to you, you forgive me. But then your mind is like, wait, but no. Like, she did this. She did me dirty. She did this.
But then
like,
I didn't forgive you.
But no, because you allowed the thought to get in your head and
That's
open
what I'm saying.
it up. No, but you disagree.
That's okay, but it goes back to what I was saying, because it's not really you like opening the wound again, and then like it's not really you opening the wound again. It's just you letting yourself get like, okay.
Think about it.
No, wait. Hold on. Let me close out. Hold up. We're gonna go back to Genesis. So in Genesis, when
Genesis where?
when Eve goes and she's like tempted by Satan to eat the apple, he goes, "Oh, did God really say that?" It's kind of like the same thing. God is telling you it is finished. Mind you, it's his word. It is finished. And then the devil's coming into your mind.
And
Did
it's
he really
fully
say that?
healed.
But we're
it's
not
fully
saying it's
closed.
But then it's the same thing. Like Satan is gonna be like, oh, he said it's really finished. Then he's gonna be like, oh, but remember they did this.
Right.
He's gonna be the
Mind
one
you.
that's saying like, oh, like remember
Mind
this
you,
little
I
part.
said you.
Because you are healed, but Satan is gonna try his best.
There's this book that we've been reading for intercession, and it talked about lies and being deceived by the devil, by the enemy. And it said that a deception it only becomes a deception once you believe the lie. Once you believe the lie.
Saying. We're not we're not saying God didn't finish his job. We're saying you have the power to let it come into your life again. You choose to let it in your life. You choose to believe it.
So what we're saying
what
is,
you're letting
wait,
in is
wait,
a lie,
what
not
we're
that
saying,
wound.
We're not
So
saying
yeah,
it
you're being
again.
deceived. It's not a real thing. It's just a lie that you're believing.
no, we're saying
So
that
what
he's
is- what is-
fully healed.
Okay, but then how do the
okay?
wounds get created?
It's not real.
It's not a wound. It's a
It's
lie
not a
from the
wound.
devil.
It's
that
just a
you-
lie.
Yeah, but it gets opened up again
It
because you
still
allow
gets,
it.
yes,
It's power.
it still
like,
gets open again.
But no, it
because
can
you're
never
allowing
get opened
that
up again
door.
because it was finished. So once it's healed, it's healed. It's not like he can't unheal it.
yeah, but it's
All Satan can do is try to stab through it again with his words. No, I understand both points though. I understand, I agree with this, but I also agree with this because once whatever you said about the lie, it's only say it again.
It only becomes a deception. You only become deceived once you believe the lie.
Right, that's not opening the heel. That's just the devil trying to stab into it, trying to get you to be like, hey, remember this, like remember that. But God already healed. Like there's no more scar. It's
No,
gone.
but it's
Yeah,
we
but
don't
the
deny
thing
that.
is, like, for you to, okay, so let's say you forgive somebody, right? There's still a process.
Okay,
like,
I'll put my own personal testimony.
Can I say something real
you
quick?
do something. No.
Can I say just real quick? Okay. Let's say I get cut, a wound on my leg, my arm, whatever. I get cut, and it becomes a scar.
Okay.
Right?
No, but
hold
let's say
Hold on. It becomes a scar, and let's just say I'm walking around, I fall again, and someone tells me you're bleeding, and I look down, and it's a scar, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Wait, hold on. Hold on. It's a scar. Hold on.
Let him cook.
No matter
It's a
how
scar.
no matter how long or how many times he tells me you're bleeding. I'm not bleeding.
Okay.
Why are you trying to make me believe that I'm bleeding when it's a scar? It's already healed. I'm done.
If you fall, but you fall, right? And then it creates a scab, but it's like the blood is.
It's not a scab. It's not a scab.
No, I know, but it's on you if you believe it, yes or no.
yeah,
But
it's
okay,
still your
but
choice.
you're not more powerful than God's healing though. Your thoughts are not more powerful. Like you're saying it's a scab, but God
But
never
you don't
does
get
his
healed
work.
unless you believe it.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
you
okay.
have to believe no
All right,
matter
so-
what.
You said it's already healed.
Yeah, you said it's reopened wound. That means a reopened wound. That means it was already a wound. It's healed. It can't be opened anymore. It's done.
Yeah, because what you're saying, it's a scab, but God would never do a halfway job and leave it as a scab. He's going to leave it completely, like it's just going to be a little line, a scar. He would never leave it with a scab that can easily be peeled off by the enemy to be like, put more lies into it. He'll do it completely so it's gone. And the deception or the lies that you guys are talking about, that's him trying to poke through it again, trying to be like, oh, you thought it was healed, it's not.
Okay, we're done.
But that's
Okay,
the choice, though. That's
So
the choice
I think
Yeah, that's your choice to believe it.
Well, it's okay because we all have different perspectives. So.
because look. So the blind man that Jesus healed, right? If Jesus completely heals it, right? So just like how he healed the blind man, he completely healed the blind man. He 100% can see. That man knows for certainty 100% that Jesus healed him. So if the devil tries to come to him and say, yo, you can't see. He's like, you can't lie to me. I had an encounter with God and he healed me fully. The devil's not going to be able to lie to that man that he can't see because he had that encounter with God already. He can fully see.
But that's why I said that you have the power to believe it. Like,
But the thing is, believing it and actually being real they're two different things.
Give us a summary, one sentence of what you guys are trying to say, and then you guys one summary of what you guys are trying to say. Because I'm like the middleman. I see both sides.
yeah.
No, just to end on agreeing and disagreeing. I'll summarize it, and then you guys could summarize like your point, and then we'll just have the comments say what they think. Okay, so we think that if Jesus fully heals you, and you think that one of your wounds reopens, we think that those are just lies from the devil, but the wound did not reopen. The devil is just lying to you. That is our perspective.
Okay, wait, I'll say it. Okay, so our perspective is that yes, we believe that the wounds are healed. However, you have the power to believe that it's not or go back into it, which is like what you did to create the wound in the first place. You could go back to the same habit and create the same wound. No, yeah, but you create it again. Like it could be that one could be healed, but if you decide to go again, like let's say like I'm getting healed from anger, right? And then I'm like I test you, but then you start like testing me. So I opened that one like wound because I chose to do the certain action or certain thing to make it happen again. Like it doesn't mean that God didn't heal me the first time. It's just like, yes, I believe, but I reopened it. I did something that did it again.
All right, we're going to leave it at that. We're going to let the comments decide. Me and David are going to be in the comments. Just the boys are right. The boys are right. That concludes our podcast. Thank you guys for joining. We hope that you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for next week. And does anybody have any
Like
closing
and
statements?
subscribe.
Can you let him finish?
Does anybody have any closing statements?
I hope that somebody received at least anything during this entire podcast, whether it be the word from the Lord or something, just anything, please.
All right, we're only trying our best. We hope to see you guys next week. This is the end of the podcast.
Make sure to share this video, share the channel, spread the word. We're coming with fire.
Yep. Like it and comment. Comment who you want to see, who you want to continue to see on the podcast. And also, if you want to be on the podcast, hit us up on our Instagram, send us a message, and tell us that you want to be on the podcast. We want to have on different youth from different backgrounds, or if you're around the Bay Area, this is where we're located, so hit us up. We want you on here, all right?
We'll fly you out if you're from somewhere else.
We're not flying you guys out.
Put a thumbs up on the lit video.
We'll figure it out. That's what we'll do. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.